Okay, hi everybody. We are going to go over the updates in regards to the autopsy report this evening. Let me start out by saying I hope everybody is doing well. I pray you've had a blessed couple of days. Hope your families are safe, your children are doing well. My scripture this evening is, "My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is strength of my heart and my portion forever." And it comes from Psalms 73:26. And the reason I chose this particular scripture is because, no matter how strong, my faith is, and no matter how strong I want to be throughout this journey, sometimes my heart do get weakened just by dealing with this constantly and continuing to see these negative people in this system. And here it is again, I'm faced with a new negative individual, and it's just, it can get really draining and shocking to see these personalities and realize, like, wow, like I cannot tell you, I'm amazed at how many people Attorney Jeff Rogers have in his pocket, all the way up to the crime lab. Yes, the crime lab. So what I decided today to do, I didn't go back and listen to the conversations before I'm presenting them to you, because I didn't care to listen to them all over again and then have to turn around and listen with you guys. So we're going to listen to a couple of the conversations in regards to trying to be successful in getting this autopsy report released. And one of the biggest challenges, I had was talking to Miss Reed. Miss Reed is the technician at the Arkansas State Crime Lab. And the reason I had a big challenge with that is because I felt like personally, well, Miss Reed she was nowhere near the incident. She's way out here in Little Rock. I can't imagine her knowing the driver, knowing the young lady that picked up the driver, or anything of that nature. And knowing my brother or knowing myself. And so I felt like she should have been totally detached from everything, that she should have been one of those people that could truly be professional and just do her job. I thought it would be that simple, that easy. But with talking with Miss Reed, I listened to her conversation as she communicated with me, and I can totally tell that, one, you can't believe a word that comes out of her wonderful lips. Because one moment we're talking and she sounds as though, and you're going to hear this audio, she sounds as though she knows exactly what I'm talking about, and then she starts to backpedal as though she has no clue what I'm talking about. And so it's like, okay, if only you can hear yourself. And then you expect me to believe the words that are coming out of your wonderful mouth. But that's okay, because Miss Reed gets to hear herself through this audio. And it's so disappointing, Miss Reed, because one, when we call you and you work at the Arkansas State Crime Lab, I would think that being in a position that you're in, that you would be mature and progressive enough to know that the people that are reaching out to your office are calling due to a heartfelt situation, that they're calling you in regards to a deceased loved one. And the last thing they want to do is play games with you and deal with your pettiness and being immature. And so that was, it was totally mind-blowing. It has been very mind-blowing through this whole process to feel like, when dealing with the people here in the system, that, wow, you don't have a sister, you don't have a brother, You don't have a mother, you don't have a father, you don't have someone that you care about, that you would, that you would go to bats for, that you would want to, turn over every stone that you could to find out the truth. I cannot believe that I'm that only person. I cannot believe that I'm the only individual who love my loved ones like that. But through every channel that I have tried to reach out through and try to get some type of support, some type of answers, it's been a brick wall. It has been a total brick wall. So with no further ado, let's get into our first audio. Our first audio, I believe, is going to be back at the El Dorado Prosecuting Attorney's office, because that's where I was actually trying to reach out for support. When she shared with me, Ms. Reed shared with me that she has sent over the paperwork for the release to Attorney Jeff Rogers on the 10th, and she had not heard anything from him. Then I made an effort to do a follow-up with Attorney Jeff Rogers myself. I did learn that he was in and out of the office, and so I then asked if the message could be passed, because it was for medical reasons. And so then I then asked for the messages to be passed to John Shepard. And so I called a couple of more times following that first message, and I did catch Mr. Rogers in the office. Unfortunately, he was in meetings though. But my thought is all the same. If you're you're well enough to make it in the office to attend meetings, a signature for release, it only takes a couple of seconds. But when I called to do another follow-up, I was told that because there was a change in attorneys, and Mr. Rogers wasn't the last person who had his hands on that case, the last attorney, Jack McQuarrie, who was looking over the case, should have been the one who signed off of it. That's not something that came from Mr. Rogers himself. That actually came from, I want to say her name was Monica, but one of the secretaries in the office. And that's the conversation I think we're about to listen to, now. So I'm going to take you on this journey of what I've been through in regards this far, in regards to trying to get this autopsy report released. And another reason, although I haven't got the autopsy report released, another reason why I'm letting you, why I'm sharing these videos with you, or these audios, I'm sorry, with you, is to not only to give you the opportunity to hear what I'm going through, but also because apparently what the young lady who also works at the Arkansas State Crime Lab has shared with me in regards to the changes in the process of the getting the autopsy report released. You're going to hear on here that Ms. Marilyn shares that, I'm sorry, her last name Reed, Marilyn Reeds, but that she turns around and she shares with me that no, that's not the case. So because I did mention to you guys that things had changed in regards to how you go about getting an autopsy, I also wanted to share that I was told that they didn't change. So, yeah. Is that the truth? I don't know, because you're also going to hear her wonderful self pedal back again. And when I mentioned Jack McQuarrie and trying to get a release from him, she kind of states pretty much that, well, it doesn't even matter. We need to hear from Attorney Jeff Rogers. So let's go ahead and get into this. Oh, I didn't plug the, give me 2 seconds. Never mind. Let's see if you can hear it. If you guys can hear this, please let me know.
Hi, speaking with Monica. Hi, Monica. Is Jeff Rogers or John Shepard available?
Can you guys hear this?
Okay. Do you know by any chance if they got the message regarding my request for an autopsy report release? On whom? Donald Mann. Okay. Jack McQuarrie is the prosecutor who handled that case. So anything regarding Mr. Manning, you have to get in contact with Mr. McQuarrie. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Oh, you know what? Hello?
Okay, so that was my first time in hearing that Attorney Jack McQuarrie was the person to release those forms. Release the authorization on that. I don't know. I don't have you guys at all up here on the screen, so I can't tell if you guys are replying, responding, or anything because there's nothing here. So I really hope that you guys are able to hear that. The next one is, let's see here. The next audio is, this is from the prosecuting attorney, also office in El Dorado. And this is where I actually just called back trying to get information in regards to Attorney Jack McQuarrie, since they said that he's the one responsible for releasing the authorization. And when I called them back, apparently they didn't have a number for the attorney, Jack McQuarrie. So let's see. Again, you guys have to let me know if you can hear it or not.
Hi, yes. Who am I speaking with? Ma'am, who am I speaking with? The prosecutor's office. And your name is, I'm sorry? Ann. Hi, Ann. My name is Krista Manning. Is there a way I can get Jack McQuarrie's phone number, please? Hold on.
Are you guys able to hear the audio? It takes them a second to get back, so. Okay, so if you guys were not able to hear, they said they didn't have the number to reach him. However, they gave me a number to the head coordinator's office And so I then called, let's see here. Now this conversation is with Miss Marilyn Reed. Give me just a second. Z. Becky, what up? I really apologize. Yes. Don't come in here all the way. Don't stay right there. Bring me the karaoke machine, please. Let me see if I can get this mic to at least pick this up since I didn't do my normal hookup on here. But the next conversation you're going to hear is my conversation with Miss Marilyn Reed at the Arkansas State Crime Lab and what she had to share with me. Yes. Look out in the garage, please. Quickly. Truly apologize. I wasn't going to share audios tonight, and so I didn't hook up for it. Yes. Give me just a second. This will probably be a quicker fix, so that's fine. Let's see if I can get it to do. A copy of Autopsy. I wanted to know, have you had the opportunity to hear from the prosecuting attorney's office?
I have not, but I got your email.
Okay. Sorry. Well, I actually just spoke with them, and what they're sharing with me now is that it would be a different prosecuting attorney, Jack McQuarrie,
Right.
that would release it. Oh, they did share that with you?
No, you did in an email. You sent me an email.
No, I think your request went to a Jeff Rogers.
Right, but you sent me an email telling me that it had changed. Is that correct?
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it looks like we had another one change. It's interesting because we've never gotten any kind of notification. That's so weird. Well, all they have to do is tell me it's okay, and then I can release it.
Okay, so, but you did get an email saying that it was the Jack McQuarrie that's on the, that has to release it?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay. Do you have contact information for Jack McQuarrie?
No, I do not.
Okay.
And that's so interesting. I mean, like I said, they normally update us and let us know, but they haven't.
Okay. All right. I'm going to see if I can possibly get in touch with Jack McQuarrie. Can I give you a number, a contact number for the, I guess, the head prosecuting coordinator?
Sure.
It's 501.
Wait, hold on 1 minute. I'm going to let me pull your request. I've got it right. I just got through looking at it a minute ago. So, and you said Jeffrey Rogers. Why is he not doing it now?
Well, there was he was removed from the case, and there was a Jack McQuarrie who took over, a special prosecuting attorney who actually took over the case. And so now they're saying that he's the one who has to do the release. But then I just called the office and the prosecuting attorney's office in El Dorado and spoke with someone, and they actually shared with me they said they didn't have the number for Jack McQuarrie, but they had it for the prosecuting coordinator's headquarters or whatever. And I guess this is the number to reach out to someone that's even over Jack McQuarrie. And so I'm thinking reaching out to them should definitely be successful in having it released.
Well, I mean, I hear everything that you're saying, but they still, Jeffrey Rogers is the one we have listed as prosecuting attorney, and he needs to respond.
Okay, and how do you suppose that happens if he doesn't respond?
Well, I've got several other requests that he hasn't responded to. He usually does eventually, but I mean, I can't force him to. I understand. And I could, I try to reach out, except for I've got to have this. Mr. Manning actually had a wife
Mm-hmm.
who is listed as.
Do you hear how it doesn't matter what the solution is. She doesn't have the desire to help process this alone. Even with it being a Jack McQuarrie, well, no, still I want Jeff Rogers. Okay, and then, but he still has a wife. Why would you be trying to run interception?
It's listed as legal next of kin.
And I understand that procedures have changed since then.
Well, our procedures haven't. But no matter what, I still have to have, let me call over there. Let me call that office myself, okay?
Okay.
And I'll do that right now.
Right.
I mean, I want to get, believe me, I'm ready to send this to you. I'd like to send it right now, but I can't.
Okay. So will you give me a call back?
I know you're getting aggravated.
Now listen to this, guys. You guys, these people feed off of negative energy. They feed off of you having an adrenaline rush or something, because if you hear, I'm clearly not faded by this because I've been through so much already dealing with this, but you're going to hear her say, well, I can hear your frustration. No, you can hear my frustration. Not at all. Because it is not a surprise to me to have to run into another petty adult that should be acting professional. I've dealt with it over the past couple of years, so I'm growing used to it. But listen to this. Okay, and how do you suppose that happens if he doesn't respond?
Well, I've got several other requests that he hasn't responded to. He usually does eventually, but I mean, I can't force him to. I understand. And I could, I try to reach out, except for I've got to have this. Mr. Manning actually had a wife who is listed as legal next of kin.
And I understand that procedures have changed since then.
Well, our procedures haven't. But no matter what, I still have to have, let me call over there. Let me call that office myself, okay?
Okay.
And I'll do that right now. Right. I mean, I want to get, believe me, I'm ready to send this to you. I'd like to send it right now, but I can't.
Okay. So will you give me a call back?
I know you're getting aggravated at me, but
No, I'm not getting aggravated at you at all.
Yeah, I don't understand, why. But let me just call his assistant and just visit with her. I mean, I'm absolutely sure what you're saying is true. I just, I haven't been notified of that. And I can't do anything till I get something from him. So, but let me just make a phone call over there and see if I can find something out, okay? What is your number, sweetie? And I'll call you back.
It's 510-467. We're not going to share my number over the internet. But as you see, even with calling this wonderful lady who I personally felt like wouldn't have any attachment to this whole case, this whole situation or anything, you're in the crime lab, you're working the crime lab, you have the copy of the autopsy reports, that, it should have been that simple. But as you see, even with her understanding that no, Jeff Rogers is not the one to sign off on it, that there is someone else supposed to sign off on it, and I understand that, and just so you know, Mr. McQuarrie, I did call the head prosecuting coordinator, Mr. Bob McMahon. I did call him, and we did have a conversation, and he did reach out to Mr. McQuarrie. And Mr. McQuarrie did text me yesterday, and he actually shared with me that, let me see if I can pull up his text real quick. And he actually shared with me that he would be reaching out to Miss Reed with her wonderful self. Let's see here. Yeah. Let me see if I can, I don't know how this works. So, yeah, he did text me back, and I don't know if you guys can see that at all, if it's too blurry. There you go. So he says, Miss Manning, the medical examiner's office will be calling me in the morning, and I will inform them that I am signing off on release of your brother's autopsy. If they relay anything else concerning the release, I will let you know, Jack McQuarrie. So he did respond or give me a text, a call, or whatever, and said that they would have that conversation this morning. Well, so Miss Reed, with her wonderful self, although she shared with me, that, and you heard it yourself through through her conversation here, that the autopsy was good and ready to go. It's just sitting there waiting for a release. Okay, you held apparently a conversation this morning with Mr. Jack McQuarrie, and all day today. I called you several times, and I couldn't get you on the phone. Like it was a holiday or something at the crime lab. Additional to that, I'm going to see if I can pull it up for you guys. I sent her over an email. When I first sent her an email regarding this, when it all first started, she replied back in a timely manner. Not only did I make several calls, I actually left her a message that has not been that has not been replied to. But I did leave her an email. Let me see if I can. And it's so important that when you're going through situations like this, that you start to create a paper trail. I mean, a paper trail on everything. Because anybody can say, oh, well, we never had that conversation, or, oh, I don't recall that conversation. But if you send it in an email, if you get written documentation, like, for example, this form here, this release form, if I wouldn't have requested a copy of it, I wouldn't have got a copy of it. And so it could have been said that, oh, no, she never came up and requested a copy of the autopsy to be released. I don't have a form. But thank God, I have a form. I have a copy. I always share with my mom now, get a copy of everything. I don't care if it's your copy of your wonderful medical records. When you go to the doctor, get a copy of your medical records. When you leave for that day, you should be able to ask them for a copy, and they will give you a copy of everything that happened that day, and you should have your own personal file in regards to what's going on with you. When you go to court, you should ask them for a copy of your meeting for that day, so you can have it for your own personal records. When you go in and negotiate a contract about anything, I don't care if it's furniture, whatever it is, you ask them for a copy, not a receipt, a copy of the actual contract. May I have a copy of that too as well for my files? Anything you put your wonderful name to, you have the right to have a copy of it. A lot of people don't even know, and I'm waiting for my phone to come on. A lot of people don't even know that you guys have a copy to any court records that you have sitting in the court system. All you have to do is go up there to the courthouse and share with them that you would like a copy of your records. Now, they're going to charge your little wonderful selves, about 10 or 15 cents a page, but you have a right to it. So if you don't have it at home, go get a copy. You're entitled to it. because you never know when you're going to have to go back and you're going to have to communicate in regards to it. And they have whatever they need to in regards to it, but you have nothing. Because you're not keeping a paper trail of the things or events that are happening in your life. So start keeping a paper trail. I don't care if it's even regarding your kids. Start keeping a paper trail. Start holding on to your children's homework assignments, until the end of the 9 weeks, because you may have to go back through those things and look and see if the grades actually calculate to be exactly what they are, because you may think they're one thing and then at the end of the 9 weeks they end up being something different. But because you have not been collecting your children's homework or having them to put them in a little basket, you can't go back and reflect on those grades to see, if it is exactly what it's supposed to be. So start getting in the habit of keeping a paper trail. That is so important. But here is